Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to another flight featuring the Airbus A321. You guys have asked for it, and here it is, the Lufthansa retro livery. And we're going to do a classic Lufthansa flight here, flying from Frankfurt over to Munich. The eagle-eyed among you might have spotted that I have reinstalled the virtual Frankfurt scenery over the Aviotech scenery. And that's because the performance in it is just a lot better for me. For that reason I opted to go back to the virtual Fra scenery, which also does look pretty good. So, apart from that, we are flying a VATSIM, and for Munich we are using the new World Update scenery, and overall this does promise to get quite a busy flight. If we just have a look at this over here, this is all VATSIM traffic. You can see it's getting really busy over here in Frankfurt over the weekend. So let's go ahead and board our A321 so that we can start setting it up for our flight. Now, as you can see, beautiful long cabin in here. I do really like it. And for now, let's go right back into the cockpit. Unfortunately, there is a small issue here with our EFB once more. It does not show us our flight plan. That seems to be a temporary issue with the Fenix Airbus, but I do hope they are going to work on that for an update soon. For this reason, we got to help ourselves using the SimBrief website, so let's go ahead and have a look right into that, and we have it right over here. So, this is going to be our flight of the day, Lufthansa 105, which is the Corsair 2 Whiskey Tango from Frankfurt to Munich, 36 minutes in the air, so it's going to be a pretty quick flight over here. 190 guests on board, which is almost full. We only have 192 seats in this particular aircraft. Looking into the forecasts for our arrival airport Munich, you can see we've got very good weather conditions at the moment. And if we look into the TAF, don't get confused by all those gusts we see over here. You can see that's on the 25th, which is all the day after which I'm recording this. I'm recording on the 24th. So we are actually looking at cavalcade conditions with an easterly wind until the evening. And throughout the night, things are gonna get a little bit interesting down here, but that shall not be our problem. Apart from that, let's have a look at our alternate weather. We've got Salzburg filed today, and as you can see, except for a couple showers of rain over the night, which again is not interesting for us, we're doing a noon flight over here. Cavalcade, 31 degrees, so beautiful weather conditions. With all of that out of the way, a quick look into our flight briefing package, and basically what we're interested in is the fuel. Now you can see we've got 4,827 kilos takeoff fuel, taxi fuel 203, so if we add that up we end up at 5,100 kilos minimum fuel, and I'm completely happy to fly it like that. So 5,100 is going to be the fuel we will put on order. Let's go into the EFB then and go down here, mass and balance, fuel order 5,100. The rest of it is looking good. Apply and load. We'll use GSX for today's loading, and that's it. Alright, then let's go ahead and start our pre-flight procedures. So, engine masters off, mode selector norm, ground clutter suppression should be in auto and again calibrated. Apart from that, the weather radar panel is looking good. Most importantly, the two systems are off. Landing gear down and the wipers are on. You can see we've taken the airplane over from another crew. It's still running on the APU. For that reason, we don't need to do the battery check, but what we most definitely do is going to be the APU fire test, which is looking good. Alright, so, since we took the airplane over from another crew, quite important, we have to realign the IRS. So we are not going to fly with the alignment from the previous crew, instead we are going to do our own. A couple of faults are showing up, but don't worry about that, they will go away soon. Okay, so, 1, 2, 3... and that's all we need over here. Then we can go ahead and initialize the aircraft systems. So ATSU, AOC menu, flight init, and initialize data request. In terms of our light setup, while we're waiting for that, we can turn all those cockpit lights off. We really don't need any. Only the intake light, I'll keep them slightly on so that we can see which radio is selected up there. Apart from that, all of that good stuff can go off. Okay, So, then let's go over into our EFB. Unfortunately, even with the flight plan not working there, we still have our charts and our performance figures to do. So, let's go ahead and grab the airport charts. And personally, for an airport as big as Frankfurt, you know, looking at the airport chart, you can't really tell too many things on here. So for that reason, I'm just going to get the parking stand charts for both East and West. And you can see that those are actually quite a bit more detailed, and those actually include all the information that we need today. Alright, so apart from that, we also need our standard instrument departure. And, well, you guys can't see it on the screen right now. For that reason, let me just look it up on SimBrief off screen, and it's going to be a Cindy departure, so most likely Cindy 6 Sierra. And here it is, Cindy 6 Sierra departure. And we can most certainly activate the day mode over here. Alright, looking good. So, next up, we go for our performance in order to have a preliminary takeoff weight. So we have Frankfurt 1.8 dry, and we'll leave all of that on standard over here. Synchronize the preliminary load sheet, and I'm just going to add a little bit of weight to it. Make it 72.5. And we are going to take intersection Lima today. Now just a quick check over here. If we are using runway 07 in Frankfurt, then we gotta choose a slightly different intersection. But today it's 25 in operation. So intersection Lima is going to be just about fine. So flaps 2 takeoff and performance limited takeoff weight is over 100 tons. So we are good to go over here. Oh, those are some incredibly high takeoff speeds here. But, well, so be it. Okay. So that is our preliminary cockpit preparation. Now in terms of aircraft acceptance, let's go ahead and do a recall over here. Keep it held for at least 3 seconds so that it recalls anything that the previous crew might have cancelled. That's looking good. Logbook and MEL CDL items are good. In terms of configuration summary, we're sitting in an A321 with IAE engines, as we can see. It does not have automatic nav on go around installed, so we have to press the button manually. Well, and apart from that, I do not have anything special over here. That's that part. So, to make sure that the aircraft is correctly maintained, ensure that we've got sufficient oxygen over here, we have sufficient hydraulic quantities, we have sufficient oil quantities, the flap lever is in agreement with the flap position, speed brakes are retracted, and last but not least we do the alternate brake check. So parking brake is going off, then apply the brake pedals, make sure that we do have pressure over here, and then we can go ahead and set our parking brake again. Alright, and that's it. So with that good stuff out of the way, since our boarding should start any moment, and it has probably even started already, I am going to make sure that the emergency exit lights are armed, air conditioning is on, and that's it. So let's go out for our walk around and have a look at this beautiful Lufthansa retro livery. It's probably one of my favorite aircraft, this one. Okay, starting over here on the AOA vanes, both are looking good. The static port is looking good. The avionics equipment vent, air inlet valve is undamaged and open. Landing gear itself, even though I've landed this plane a few times now, has not suffered yet. And all the lights are looking good. No fluids leaking and no damages. Alright then, moving to the front, the oxygen discharge valve is green. Pitot probes are undamaged. The TAT probes undamaged. Ice detector is looking good as well. The avionic access doors undamaged and closed. So, static port over here, no damages. Looking over the front, no signs of a bird strike or anything. Static port is checked, and the probes on this side are checked as well. Avionics bay door is closed and properly latched, and the avionics equipment air outlet valve is undamaged. Static port's looking good. Just a quick check to make sure we are not getting run over by anything. Alright, So, airframe is looking good. Beacon is undamaged as well. Air inlets undamaged. Leading edges looking okay. Quick check through the engine, making sure that all the fan blades are in good shape. No signs of bird strikes or anything the likes. And off we go. The side is looking good. The latches are in place. That's probably the most important check of all. Otherwise you get very spectacular videos. Alright, and the thrust reversal lockout pins are not activated. Okay, looks like the refueling is complete. Then going along the leading edge, no damages. The nav light is working, and most importantly you've got the right color installed here with the green color. So, static wick dischargers, all where they're supposed to be. And that leads us towards the aft side of the engine, which is once again looking good. No foreign objects in there, no damages, no sign of any fuel accumulating and stuff like that. Alright, the landing gear itself is in good condition and no signs of any damages. Moving to the aft then, gotta make sure that we're not run over as we're moving along all the equipment over here. So, bulk cargo door is in good shape, the outflow valve is open and undamaged. The stabilizer is looking good, and there's no signs of damages here either. Right, leading edge is looking good, and with that we're getting over to the other side of the airplane. Again, making sure that we have no abnormalities over here. No signs of bird strikes, tires are still looking good, the landing light up here on the top left is also looking good. And then we can go along the trailing edge of the wing. No signs of any birds sticking out. We've got the red navigation light on the left side, looking good. Leading edge is good. Little overview of the engine. Nothing in here. And the thrust reversal lockout pins are not installed. Latches are closed. Having a look at the fan blades now, and there are no signs of damages there. The P12 probe up here is also in a good shape, and everything is looking good. Air inlet, looking good as well. No signs of birds nesting or stuff like that. And with that, our walk around is complete. And I just can't help myself but admire this beautiful livery. Okay, let's go back into the flight deck. We're going to do our flight deck setup over here. So, oxygen is on, flight recorder on, evacuation switch on captain. Lights are auto and 1. Refueling is completed now, seatbelts coming on. Moving up along the panel, the fuel pumps are coming on. Fire tests. Looking good for engine 1 and looking good for engine 2. Over here, everything's normal. Getting down to the main panel then. What's our current QNH? 1012. So that's set up here. The date is correct. Anti-skid switch on. Getting down to the pedestal. Can activate the 2 comms down here. Weather radar we have set up already. Park and brake set. Transponder on position 1 and squawk 2000 until we get our clearance. And then we can have a look into the MCDU. So, received messages, load sheet, and we've got the Airbus A321 Delta Alpha India Delta Victor 2 and 4. We talked about the 4 earlier already. Weights are looking good. We are under load by 4,248 kilos, so if we get some last minute additional loading, then we know we can carry it. Okay, 190 passengers planned. Portable water 100% and the fuel in tanks 5,100. Alright, accept that. And then let's go ahead with our aircraft status. A321-200 IAE engines, again the database. I don't know why the update doesn't work on my side. We'll probably have to write a support ticket there. Alright, initialize flight request. And it's going to be D Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango. So, Frankfurt, Munich, alternate Salzburg is okay, cost index 30, cruise flight level 230. Frankfurt, departure of runway 18 with a Cindy 6 Sierra departure. Insert, and in Munich I am looking at runway 08 left at the moment, and we'll have the Rokiel 08 transition. Okay, looking good. Then, for our emergencies, we've got Frankfurt X3 as our engine out waypoint, and that's going to be off runway 18 with a 176 course and 25 miles ahead. Store that, and we gotta enter it once again. Again, that is still a bug in the Fenix, unfortunately. Okay, so holding 176 right-hand turns, that's looking good, and if we have to come back, we are definitely going to do so towards Frankfurt. And it will be an ILS Zulu approach, runway 25 center. Okay then, fix info, Frankfurt 18 with a 176 course into here. And Frankfurt X3 going into the fixes up here. Okay, next up we are going to check that all this routing that we've just inserted is actually correct. So, looking at this, Delta Fox 158, max 220 above 800, and we have that. Delta Fox 159 above 2,500, Delta Fox 170 above 4,600, and we do have that. And then on via Amtix towards Cindy, and we've got Amtix and Cindy. Okay, looking good. We don't need any radio navigation aids for that. Frankfurt 25 center for our immediate return. And then we can move over to our weight initialization. And I am going to take those right off the preliminary load sheet over here. So 7.3, which is rather heavy today. And the zero fuel weight CG 25.2. Fuel is 5.1, and for our weights, I have to take them out of SimBrief due to the EFB having those issues at the moment. 0.3, 1.4, 1.3. And that's it. Excellent. Okay, last but not least, we had a flaps 2 takeoff, and there was 57 degrees of flex temperature. If I remember that correctly. Yeah, I do. And the speed's 163, 169, 169. That is fast. That is really fast. But okay. Feels a bit like the A330, I have to say. Even though even in the A330 we usually don't have speeds of about 169. Normally it's about 160 or so, but okay. Right, reduction in acceleration looking good, engine out acceleration looking good. Clean speed 219, and the speed restriction is 220 if I'm not mistaken, so that is not going to cause any issues. Yeah, and that's only at the first point, so nothing to worry about. The one thing that we do have to worry about is our altitudes, but as you can see, it's perfectly able to comply with the 2,500 restriction. Can have a look at that over here as well. So 159 above 2,500. It plans to be there at 3,200, so easy going. Okay, so that's all this good stuff complete. Are you ready for the briefing? Yes, sir. Okay, Frankfurt runway 18. By the way, we still gotta set the altitude here. That's better. So, Frankfurt runway 18, and it is going to be the Cindy 6 Sierra departure. Climbing 4,000, MSA 4,300, and extra fuel and time. We did not really load anything here. Let's see what the FMS says. Minus 0.2, we can still uplink the winds, but I think it's basically going to stay at round about 0. Okay, hotspots for the taxi. Basically the entire airport is one big hotspot here, because it's just, yeah, everything that has wheels attached to it is a threat. Stop motor reject the takeoff is over 1,000 meters. Engine out sits on the runway track to Frankfurt X3. We can come back to Frankfurt, and we are below the maximum landing weight. So coming back for the ILS Zulu approach runway 25 center. Nothing special, nothing non-standard threats. maybe VFR traffic is a little bit of a threat here, but we will stay within airspace Charlie for the entire climb, so nothing to worry about. Any questions? No? Wonderful. In that case, cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity. 5,080 kilos balanced. Seatbelts on. ADRs. Nav. Barorev. QNH 1012. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Okay, let's go ahead and request our clearance. So, ATC request, pre-departure clearance, and we'll send it to Frankfurt. We're in gate number Alpha 30. Gute, and the ATIS ID is... Let's update that. Slow to work, but it used to be Kilo, so we'll just send them Kilo. Okay, send. Wonderful, so that good stuff is out of the way, and then, while we're waiting for clearance, I'm going to say hello to our guests. Liebe Gäste, einen wunderschönen guten Nachmittag aus dem Cockpit. Hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel. Im Namen der deutschen Lufthansa darf ich Sie herzlich an Bord von Flug 105 nach München begrüßen. Die Flugzeit heute etwa 40 Minuten in einer Reiseflughöhe von 23.000 Fuß oder ca. 7.000 Metern. Wir bedanken uns, dass Sie heute unsere Gäste sind. Lehnen Sie sich zurück und genießen Sie den Flug mit uns. Wenn wir irgendwas für Sie tun können, um den angenehmer zu gestalten, zögern Sie bitte nicht, sich an unsere Flugbegleiter zu wenden. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit und noch einmal herzlich willkommen an Bord. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel. In the name of Lufthansa, welcome aboard flight 105 to Munich. Expected flight time is approximately 40 minutes at a cruise altitude of 23,000 feet, which is about 7,000 meters. We expect a smooth flight today, so make yourself comfortable, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. Okay, so that's our guests dealt with. So, PDC rejected, flight plan not held, revert to voice procedures. Okay, well, we can definitely do that. So, delivery 122.035, don't ask me how I know.
The 121.855.
Position 11855.
Frankfurt delivery EV69 Romeo Lima is type A320 Neo. At stand Charlie 6 with information Lima requesting IFR clearance to Gatwick.
Typical UK, saying the aircraft type. You don't need to do that in the rest of the world.
Delivery, hello. Information Lima cleared to Heathrow, Gatwick via Booker to make departure. Flight approved, converted flight.
Okay, we do have another company message. That's probably going to be the load sheet.
Cleared to Gatwick via the Booker.
Yep, here it is. In compliance with edition number 1. Wonderful.
70 and Squawk.
So 67.3 and 25.2. That's exactly what we had.
For delivery,
Alright, wonderful. So, takeoff CG 26.2, so we're looking at trim roughly over here, up 0.5, roundabout. Okay, takeoff weight 72.1 versus 72.2, good enough, accept, and then up 0.5. Alright, here we go. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and get GSX to prepare our position for pushback. Frankfurt delivery, hello, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, information, Kilo request clearance to Munich.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, Frankfurt delivery, hello. Information Lima cleared to München via 26 Sierra departure, flight altitude climb 2 flight level 4, climb vested to 4,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango cleared to München via Cindy 6 Sierra departure flight plan route, climb by set 4000, squawk 1000, request startup.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, read back correct. Startup approved, contact apron 121.855.
Start approved, 121.855, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, tschüss. Okay, so Cindy 6 Sierra is confirmed. Squawk 1000. And altitude 4000 is in here. Perfect. Alright. Then let's go ahead. Close up. So 121.855 is correct. Frankfurt apron, schönen guten Tag, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, Charlie 30, correction, Alpha 30, request push and start.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango apron, when clear of the A321 behind, pushback approved, face west.
When clear of the A321 behind, push approved, face west, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango. Okay, so continue push, and that's gonna be November 7 facing west. Quick check behind. Okay, he's still pushing. Fair enough, then we'll have to wait for him. Anyway, before start checklist. Park and brake. Set, takeoff speeds and thrust. 163, 169, 169, flex 57, windows.
Frankfurt ground, schönen guten Tag, Lufthansa 111 at November.
Closed, beacon on, before start checklist complete.
Lufthansa 111.
Server error occurred, error retrieving data for Salzburg. I don't care about Salzburg. I just want the Frankfurt 8s. But it is Lima, like delivery pointed out. QNH now 1011. And that's set. Another company message there. Let's see what that's about.
Taxi via Lima, November 5, hold short of November, and expect stand
Okay.
13.
Not really
Lufthansa
relevant for us.
Alpha 13, Lufthansa 111.
Ocean 8 Lima Papa, for that.
Okay,
Ocean 8 Lima Papa.
so he should hopefully... Well, that's not the ocean, of course. The ocean is got to be somewhere over there. But
2 Jet 4 Lima Mike, squawk 2024.
just got to wait for him. And once he's gone, we can go ahead and start our pushback.
Lufthansa 111, hold position, you're taxiing in the wrong direction. Ah, now you are getting back to Lima. Lufthansa 1 Lima, contact tower 118,
Okay.
business 780.
Let's just open the Navigraph charts over here. I kind of like to have something visible.
Lufthansa 8 Hotel, contact tower 118, business 780, bye.
Okay, so
1870.
the company is not taxiing just yet. He probably
Jet 4 Lima Mike,
probably
tower
hasn't requested
118,
taxi yet, so we just gotta
780,
wait for that.
Tower 18780, Jet 4 Lima Mike, bye.
It's an A321.
03 tower,
IAE engines. Probably takes a little while to start it up. Let's hope that that's him.
First of expert, Alpha, push, back approved, area 1. Lufthansa
Beautiful
3
livery,
right,
isn't
exit
it?
holding point, runway, disregard, stand by, back.
Lufthansa 001, request taxi.
Lufthansa 001, taxi to runway to pass center by November 7, hold short of November for
By
now.
November 7, that seems to be him. Okay, wonderful. Once he's going, our pushback is approved. Ground from flight deck? Go ahead.
Lufthansa 203,
Please confirm doors and hatches closed, ground equipment removed, and bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Roger, when clear of the A321 behind, push approved, face west, park and brake is set. Okay, he's going. So we clear the aircraft, release park and brakes. Brake released. Start on the push, stand by for engine start. Roger.
Frankfurt apron, Bude, Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo, gate Alpha 17, requesting pushback.
I don't need the jump seat. I know many of you would love to be on there, but... Okay. A little bit strange that they only arm the slide once we start the pushback. I think it would be better if they did that once we actually turned the beacon on, so that the entire cabin safety demo starts a little bit earlier. But okay. So you're clear to start engines. Starting 2 and 1 in that sequence. Engine 2 start. Little bit of delay here. Oh, what's it doing now? Interesting.
Lufthansa 308, taxi
Good job,
running
GSX.
runway 18,
Awesome job,
November
GSX.
5 and November.
Is that a tail strike? Oh yeah. That is a tail strike. Let's just hope Phoenix doesn't simulate the effects of it, otherwise we are pretty surely going to get a decompression here.
It's gonna be a little bit of a delay because some outbound
Enough radio altimeter fault. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
No worries, Lufthansa 111.
But look at the fuel amount here.
Alternate Lima, Papa, contact tower, 118.
It's really going down low. But I have a feeling, once the nose is coming back down, when the pushback is completed... Why is it adding brake pressure? That's probably the reason why the pushback went so weird.
Delta, Echo, when clear of the A321
There are certain
from
things
right
that I
to
just
left,
don't
pushback
understand.
approved.
Pushback approved after the passing traffic from right to left. Lufthansa 6
Okay, so... Good start on 2, starting 1.
Lufthansa 01, contact
Engine 1 start. So, push complete, set brakes. Brake set. So, now it's triggered the radio altimeter faults. Let's see if we can reset that. So what I'm doing right now is... Oh, they seem to be gone. Okay, good. So on the QRH you have a so-called system reset table, and on that you would search for the fault in question. So in our case it was nav, and then
on the wrong apron frequency 121.
and then radio altimeter faults. So we would look into the system reset table. If this fault was listed there, it is not. In other words, we could not do the system reset. But just in case it was listed, we would find the circuit breakers for the radio altimeters. Probably somewhere here on nav or so. Nope. They are actually not up here, and that's gotta be because they cannot be reset. So then they are probably located somewhere in the back over here, which Phoenix did not simulate. But okay, that's fine for me. Okay, so 2 good starts. Then let's do the after start procedure. Okay, ground. We've got 2 good engine starts. Prepare the aircraft for taxi, and bye bye. So there he is. Okay. After start checklist. Anti-ice, off, decom status, checked, pitch trim. What is it? 0, round about 26%. Radar trim, neutral, after start checklist complete.
It's longer than I thought. Do you want to wait or not stand?
An alternate stand would be great, Lufthansa 111.
Roger, then taxi 1 November 5, then Alpha 21.
Stand Alpha 21, Lufthansa 1, taxi via November to Alpha 21, Lufthansa 111.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, request taxi.
Via November 5, Roger, thank you.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, request taxi.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, taxi 1 November 7, hold short of November.
November 7, hold short November, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango. So straight ahead, left turn, hold short of the parallel taxiway. Clear right side, clear left side, brakes released, off we go. So just a little bit of power to get it moving. Brake check.
Class 2 Whiskey Tango, consider taxi 1 November 7 and November holding point November 18.
Taxi November 7, November holding point 18, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango. So 10 knots, I'm not gonna accelerate it much further unless it does the rest itself on idle. Hello, Emmanuel here. Thank you.
Lufthansa 6 Juliet Alpha, get ready to the A321 from left to right after taxi 1 November to holding point November 8.
Behind company A321.
Rather busy over here, seeing that I'm recording this at exactly 12 o'clock at noon over here on a Saturday. But I like it that way.
Fixing to holding point runway 18 via November 5 and November, Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo.
Okay, he cleared us all the way through, so it's going to be a right-hand turn on November over here.
Now to Tower Lufthansa 111.
Clear on the left.
Tschüss, danke fürs Fliegen.
One aircraft there on the right.
Frankfurt apron, tribute to Lufthansa 16 November, Alpha 23 is ready for collision start.
Lufthansa 16 November, A319 from right to left, push back approved.
After the A319, push approved, Lufthansa 16 November.
Okay, flight control track.
Speedbird 905 kilo,
Full up.
contact tower 118,
Full down. Neutral.
118.
Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Hello, taxi 1 November 14, hold shut off November, expect St. Victor.
Okay, no changes to the takeoff briefing. Everything stays as it is.
And then hold short November, Victor 120.
Lufthansa 308, contact tower 118, 780, bye.
18780.
A little bit hard to find the click spot for that armrest all the time. Okay, taxi checklist. Flight controls, checked. Flap setting, conf 2, radar and predictive wind shear, on and auto, engine start selector, norm, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, taxi checklist complete. In case you're wondering why I'm calling the engine mode selector, engine start selector from time to time, is because that's the name on the A330, and I really don't want to get into a wrong habit over here, using the wrong name on the 330 in the real world then. That's definitely not worth it in flight simulation.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, contact tower 118, 780, bye.
118 780, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, tschüss.
So 308, taxi to Honeycomb, 8 by November south.
Which holding point did you say?
And left now left on November south to holding point 18.
Ah, sure, now left to November south to holding point 18, Lufthansa 3 bye.
Frankfurt Tower, schönen guten Morgen, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, ready in sequence.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, Frankfurt Tower, hallo. Auch schnell lieber Papa, identified from the Klang radar on 136, that's 130.
Okay, this is 30 degrees or less, so we don't need to slow it down. Nonetheless, I still like to make it very shallow turns here. You can see very small control input, because we are going rather fast, of course. Okay, 136.155 is going to be our departure frequency. Actually 136.130 I believe. Looks like we have to look into the chart. Yeah. Up here it is, 136.13. So, 1, 2, 3 aircraft in front of us, so we're looking at about 5 minutes of time waiting for our departure over here. Actually 3 aircraft in front of us. Well, it's gonna be alright. Depending on the standard instrument departures they all plan to fly, we're looking at just about 1 minute per aircraft, so if they are really efficient, it's gonna be only 3 minutes of delay. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Speedbird 3, 2 Tango, Frankfurt Tower, hello. Via Lima 1, line up runway 25 center.
By Lima 1, line up 25 center. Speedbird 6.
Let's be honest over here, for freeway scenery this is looking really good, isn't it? Now we gotta hope to get an A321 freighter, because Lufthansa Cargo is operating a couple of them already.
Speedbird 5 kilo, wind 170 degrees, 7 knots, runway 18, clear for takeoff.
By the way, look at how far the Speedbird taxied forward before he brought the plane to a stop. This all is runway that he wasted. So if you line up on your departure runway, be sure that you take as little runway as possible for your lineup. You know, taxiing it all the way here is a waste of runway.
Lufthansa 6 Alpha, line up runway 18.
Line up in wait 18.
And here we go again. As we start moving in, lights coming back on. And then we are going to be behind him, I hope. Unless there's someone coming from Lima up here. Sometimes they do take aircraft from Mike or from Lima in front of you from the full length, because if the aircraft are flying on a different SID, for example, the Speedbird's probably going to fly to the right on a Sobra departure, then if someone goes straight ahead on a Neki or left on a Cindy departure, then they can give you takeoff clearance basically once the other aircraft has lifted off. That's really, really cool. It's incredible how quickly they can handle traffic here in Frankfurt.
Identified contact lang radar on 136, decimal 130.
136, 130.
Okay, he's going, so we could get line up now.
Speedbird 32 Tango, wind 17 degrees 5 knots, runway 25 center, clear for takeoff.
Runway 25 center, clear takeoff. Speedbird 32 Tango.
So if the tower would give us the lineup clearance right now, then we could start our takeoff run the moment he gives us the clearance. That way, the controller could optimize the traffic flow in order to ensure that aircraft can start their takeoff roll exactly when they are supposed to. If they let me hold short of the runway and then only give me a takeoff clearance straight away afterwards, then I still have to conduct the entire lineup, which wastes a little bit of time.
Identified contact lang 136, decimal 130.
136, 130, Alpha 2.
Speedbird 32 Tango, confirm we're taking off.
We're rolling. Speedbird 32 Tango.
What's up? Speedbird 8 Romeo, cross uniform 2, uniform 6, there's via transition 1 to holding point runway 18.
Say again please, 8 Romeo.
Speedbird 8 Romeo, cross uniform 2, uniform 6, there's continue via transition 1 to holding point runway 18.
Uniform 2, uniform 6, and via transition 1 to holding point for runway 18, Speedbird 8 Romeo.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, line up runway 18.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, line up runway 18.
Lufthansa Whiskey Tango,
Time to prepare for departure.
Disregard, wind 17 degrees 7 knots, runway 18, clear for takeoff.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, runway 18, cleared for takeoff. Lineup checklist. Takeoff runway. 18 full length TCAS. On PAX 1 and 2 off. Lineup checklist complete. So this is exactly what I meant. We could be in the air by now if he lined us up earlier. So that would optimize the traffic flow a little bit more. Okay, are you ready for a rolling takeoff? Okay, takeoff.
Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo behind departing A321, line up runway 18 behind.
Manflex 57, SS runway. Actually, no runway there. Manual flex 57, SRS, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. .100 knots. Checked. This definitely feels like an A330 takeoff right now.
Frankfurt
V1.
EG69 Romeo Lima holding
Rotate.
at Alpha 3, Lima 3.
Easy 69 Romeo Lima, Frankfurt Tower.
Positive climb.
Wind
Gear up.
170 degrees,
Nav.
7 knots,
Check.
5 center, clear for takeoff.
Runway 25 center cleared for takeoff, Easy 69 Romeo Lima.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, identified, contact Lang Radar on 136, decimal 130.
136, decimal 130, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango.
Working 145.
Lufthansa 01 Lima, now for ITC available. You can proceed direct Lutix and monitor Honeycomb.
First climb, auto thrust. Flaps 1. Speed check.
Lufthansa 01 Lima, direct Lutix and to monitor Honeycomb. Bye-bye.
And flaps 1.
Direct Lutix and Unicom 128, danke, schönen Tag noch, ciao, Lufthansa 01 Lima.
2-4 Lima Mike, direct Lutix.
Direct Lutix, 2-4 Lima Mike.
Eurings 16 Lima Whiskey, monitor Honeycomb. Goodbye.
Rather busy.
Monitor Unicom, Eurings 16 Lima Whiskey, bye bye.
Okay, flap 0. Land Paralo, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, 2500, climbing 4000.
So 2 Whiskey Tango is identified, climb for level 230.
Climb flight level 230, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango.
And who called for descent?
Okay, 23,000 blue.
It's a bit early. You're flying from Munich, correct?
Right.
Okay, it's a bit early, so I think you can expect descent in about 5 minutes, if that's fine for you.
Yeah, that's fine. Fine.
Okay.
Hello, Scandinavian 781.
I wonder why someone is calling for descent that early.
781, hello, you are identified.
That's so weird.
2125.
Okay,
2125.
a little bit turbulent over here.
Airbus 174,
Good thing that we kept our cabin proceeded.
Langen Hamburg 174. Established IS 25.
Jo, hör zu, ich habe dir gerade eine Clearance gegeben. Airbus 174, wind variable 3 knots from 25 to the land.
That was a nice one as well.
Sorry, habe ich überhaupt.
Okay, set standard.
Runway 25 for Hamburg 174.
Standard cross check, passing flight level 53 now.
Austrian 209
Check.
November, now seats, when established, contact tower 118.78.
Okay, everything's done and we're on the way.
710 Austrian 209 November.
So it's just going to be flying straight for a while now. Autopilot 1.
Descent 4000
So,
QNH 1011.
just a little explanation there. On our takeoff, I set SRS runway, auto thrust blue, but of course there was no runway indicated. Now, as a little background there, what is the runway mode and what is it used for? Basically, the runway mode uses the localizer of the runway to track the center line. Now, runway 18 in Frankfurt, since it is for takeoffs only, doesn't have a localizer, and therefore, obviously, runway couldn't activate. Now, on the vast majority of takeoffs, you do get that mode, so
radar, Easy 69 Romeo
it happens occasionally to Airbus pilots that they do say that without actually reading it. But I spotted it, I corrected myself, and that's the important thing here.
Repeat the flight level, please. Easy 69 Romeo Lima. Climb by 6, flight level 200.
Okay, Frankfurt over here, Hanau over here. Those are the two cities that we've got in the recent world updates for Germany in photogrammetry. But you can see those much better when you approach Frankfurt, which we are definitely going to do soon again. And honestly, it's a beautiful livery here, isn't it? Just like the weather, wonderful weather conditions at the moment, clear skies, even though it is a little bit turbulent, I have to say, but that is not really surprising, since in weather conditions like these, 27 degrees on the ground, you get a lot of thermals there, and those thermals obviously do cause you quite a bit of turbulence. But we are slowly getting out of that. Normally that turbulence lasts not far above 10,000. Okay, we'll keep the seatbelts on for now.
Lufthansa Whiskey, correct, Lufthansa Foxtrot Charlie, descent flight level 70 and speed 240 knots.
Okay, clear and copy.
Lufthansa 79 Papa, descent flight level 110, expect.
So, cruising 230, optimum 360, and we will be landing on Munich 08 left most likely, so let's go ahead and program that over here. Alright. Wonderful. So we're on the way. And since it is just a fairly short flight, we'll just about get the aircraft up to a higher level, and then we probably have to start our approach preparation again.
Station calling for further climbs, the call time.
Bird 3 Tango.
So let's just insert something here. So Rokiel, yeah, look at that. The plane wants to be at cruising altitude at Rokiel, but I'm fairly sure we're gonna get some nice directs here. So let's just insert some descent constraint here. Rokiel. Now down here, the aircraft's asking us whether we want to make this a climb or a descent restriction. Obviously, if we made that a climb restriction, the aircraft would have leveled off earlier. So, for this reason, we make it a descent restriction, and that tells the aircraft, ignore that altitude until you have basically reached your top of climb. And only thereafter, it's going to take that into consideration for the descent predictions. Okay, top of descent in about 75 nautical miles. So, Munich information, Papa, expect approach runway 08 left or 08 right, wind 09085, slightly variable, 26 degrees, 1016. So, 1016 is pre-selected, here we go. And we have 08 left in here. Wonderful. We are going to do the rest of the setup as we reach our cruising altitude. Let's just be on the safe side over here that we don't miss anything. So it looks a little bit smoother to me now. I'd say we release our passengers so that they can at least go to the toilet here. Because it will be a pretty short time that they will be released overall. Okay, so beautiful routing over here, one straight line, except for the noise abatement on the departure, of course, and then the approach transition, no comment on that. Depending on the amount of traffic, I can very well imagine that we're just going to approach in a straight line, so I'm not too worried about that stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab our charts. So, Munich, ground chart. And we take this, we take the taxi chart, and then we also take our parking stands east. As that's basically the Lufthansa apron. Okay, coming in via Rokiel, so let's take the Rokiel 08 transition chart. And finally, for our approach, we'll have the ILS 08 left and the ILS 08 right, which we can choose from. Most likely, I'm expecting 08 left today, but we'll see about it. Okay, so let's go to the plan view and check that our arrival routing is correct. I've decided to do this a little bit earlier now, since the top of descent really isn't that far off. So, Rokiel, and then the edge points 412, 427 and 420. And if you compare that with the chart, you can see from Rokiel, 412, 427 and 420. From there we are going to join the ILS approach onto runway 08 left, starting at Margat 5000, 3 degree glide. In here we have Margat 5000, 3 degree glide. And the missed approach straight up to 1 DME east of Delta Mike November or 1900, whichever is later. Turn left to Mike near Quebec, climb into 5000. So in here, D080 Alpha means the D indicates that the last letter denotes a distance. 080 is the course, which basically is our runway track, and the alpha is the first letter in the alphabet, meaning 1 DME. 132.555, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango.
Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo, monitor me on 123.280.
Lufthansa 4 Echo Romeo identified, Yoke 81 Hotel Victor, descent to flight level 100.
München, hallo, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, flight level 211, climbing 230.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango identified, hello.
Okay, let's continue. So our missed approach is checked. We can obviously go ahead and do a conventional backup for that. We'll take DME Munich North and Nike India Quebec. So it's going to be a VOR ADF setup. Like that. Right, Munich 08 left is in here, and then we can go on to the performance pages and start setting up our descent information.
Squawk 1000, New Zealand 4.2. Which is 4 Papa X-ray confirmed descent now to flight level 1.
So 1000 to go. Plane is climbing rather quickly here.
To the Papa X-ray, Russia starting descent right now.
Speed, vertical speed.
Crossing basic flight level 170. Lufthansa 2 Hotel Mike, contact Langen 123.280.
Okay, so Mach point 69 or 300 knots is looking good. So 1016 was it?
Hello, Scandinavian 682 identified.
Yeah, 1016, 26 degrees, and 09085. 1016, 26, and 090 at 5. Here we go. So, all star, Mach. All truce. So, this would be the time to do a little fuel check here on a short flight like this. Unfortunately, since the flight plan did not uplink into the EFB, I have to do it from the routing off screen, and top of climb should have been 11 minutes with 3,300 kilos on board. So we took 12 minutes, 3,600, close enough. Okay then. So minimum 1667. Config full, and the MSA is 3,700, so we'll use that as engine out acceleration. Let's see, 7 minutes extra fuel, plus the entire transition of course. Copy the active, that's looking good. I'm assuming auto brake is going to be low, but let's go ahead and run a bit of calculation. 08 left, dry, refresh and apply. So landing weight, estimated fuel 2.9, so we burn 600 kilos. With, yeah, let's just take 70.5, then we should be on the conservative side here. So 70.5, low auto brake, flaps full, manual thrust, 2,300 meters. Let's see if we need to optimize anything here. The first exit would obviously take us right to the apron, but that would create such a hot brake over here. I'm not gonna do that. So probably gonna be the second or the third exit. Maybe even the third. 2,300 meters. The middle is round about here at 2,000, so most likely Alpha 10. Okay. Wonderful, so that's our setup completed. Let's do the approach briefing. Okay, the MSA is 3,700 feet. We plan the Rokiel 08 transition for an ILS approach runway 08. Minimum 1667, go around trajectory straight at 1 mile, left hand turn, and extra fuel is 7 minutes. Wonderful. The approach will be guided by the flight director with manual thrust. Landing flaps full, stop margin is about 1,700 meters. Idle reverse, auto brake low. Planned exit is the third rapid exit taxiway, Alpha 10. No hotspots, nothing special. That's it? Any threats? No? Wonderful. Briefing complete. Alright, off ATC. Unless he calls us. Yeah. Okay. Liebe Gäste aus dem Cockpit, hier Kapitän. Wir werden in Kürze unseren Sinkflug in Richtung München schon starten. Vollbleibende Flugzeit noch etwa 20 Minuten. Das Wetter in München aktuell 26 Grad bei einem leichten Ostwind. Wir bedanken uns ganz herzlich, dass ihr heute unsere Gäste waren und wünschen Ihnen einen schönen Aufenthalt, gegebenenfalls eine gute und sichere Weiterreise und hoffen Sie auch bald wieder an Bord eines Lufthansa-Flugs begrüßen zu dürfen. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from the flight deck. Your captain. We will start our descent towards Munich soon with a remaining flight time of about 20 minutes. The weather in Munich at the moment 26 degrees and a light wind from the east. Thank you very much for choosing Lufthansa for today's flight. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we look forward to welcoming you again on board of a future service. Thank you very much for your attention.
When ready, descend 100 and
Okay. The PA is done, everything is done. Let's just deal with the delay message here before things get too busy again. Now, in the real world, I would use the OE indicator, so that's out, off, on, in, which basically records our flight time in order to figure out the exact delay we've had. Unfortunately, I could not find any similar device in the Fenix aircraft. So it would be really nice if they add that for a future version. Because this way we now have to wait until we receive the delay message, which comes 25 minutes after takeoff in the Fenix, and we'll almost be in the approach by that time. So that's not optimal. Okay, we're about to reach our top of descent. Let's go ahead and request descent clearance.
1232800.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, request descent.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, descend to flight level 130.
Descent flight level 130, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango. Speed descent, halt, flight level 130 blue.
Flight level 170, cross basics at level.
Okay, so, leaving our cruising altitude, and here comes the profile, thrust idle. Beautiful. That's what I call efficient.
Turkish 13 Sierra Victor, contact Lang Radar 123.280.
Honestly, the livery is really done very, very well, isn't it? It's not only the looks of it, but also you got a little bit of subtle dirt here below the windows, you got the different colors of the engine cowlings. I really like it. I think it is really very, very well done.
München Radar Airbus Lufthansa 16 November, flight level 230, inbound Zulu.
Lufthansa 16 November, identified Airbus Direct Odomo, flight level 290.
Direct Odomo, flight level 290, Lufthansa 16 November.
Line 19 Victor, to confirm you're still on frequency.
What should be line 19 Victor?
Yeah, it is a little bit busy. If some people are missing out some calls here, I'm not surprised at all.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, contact München arrival 128.030.
128.030, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, cheers.
Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo.
Computer is 555, Oscar Alpha Alpha 2.
Lufthansa 23, Coach Lufthansa 203, turn left heading to 10.
Okay, what's the latest status? Quebec. München arrival, hello, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, flight level 196, descending 130, info Quebec.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, München Radar, hello, identified info Quebec, correct, expect 108 left, descend to flight level 110, 2000 feet per minute or greater.
Runway 08 left, descend flight level 110 at 2000 feet a minute or greater, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango.
Turkish 3 Uniform Yankee, contact München Radar.
Oh, descend flight level 110 blue.
132.555 for Turkish 3 Uniform Yankee, thank you, goodbye.
Okay, fast mode's on. We should turn them on latest 15 minutes before landing. On short-haul flights like this, I do try to maximize it out, but looking at these weather conditions over here, I am pretty positive that we are going to get some turbulence again on the way in, so might just as well turn them on a tiny bit earlier there. You know, just to give the cabin crew that half a minute extra to start preparing the cabin. They are really, really good in getting that time management right over here, because we fly so much short haul that they really have their training and their practice. But of course, As if we ordered it. You can see the turbulence starts coming in right now. Wonderful. What's the call for us? Nope. In a situation like that, where ATC makes a call and you are unsure whether it was for you or not, don't just call in and say something, but much rather, what you should do is just to wait, and if nobody replies, then ATC is just going to make the call again. But the important thing here is that you don't just go ahead and start congesting the frequency if you are unsure if the call was for you. Especially if it was for someone else and the other party understood it but just took a little bit longer. Then ATC needs to correct it, make the call again, the other party needs to reply again. It's much quicker if you just don't reply, if you're unsure, and then ATC is going to make the call again.
So 2 Whiskey Tango, turn right, heading 170, speed to correction descent at 1,500 feet per minute or greater, speed 250, solid.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, right heading 170, descent at 1,500 feet a minute or greater, speed 250 knots.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, 250 knots or less.
250 knots or less, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango. Okay,
203, turn left heading
speed, vertical speed heading. And obviously that means we gotta help it a little bit. The good thing in the A321 is Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, given rate, descent flight level 70. Flight level 70 blue. The good thing is, in the A321 you can get the full speed brake with the autopilot engaged. In the A320 you only get half speed brake, even if you apply the lever to the maximum. But in the A321 you should be getting the full speed brake. Okay, here we go, reaching 250 knots. First idle open descent. Let's put the speed brake in, see what's going to happen. If it flies those 1,500 feet, or if we need to help it.
Mission arrival at Airbus Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo inbound Xerum, descending to flight level 130.
Let's give it a little while to stabilize here. But looks like we need to help it. Okay, I tell you what, half speed brake, and that is going to do. Okay, sequence flight plan.
Descending to flight level 110,
full heading.
at the rate of 2,000 or greater, Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo.
So we have 19 miles to the final approach fix, we got to be in 5,000 over there. I think 2,000 feet a minute over here is probably the better choice over 1,500 as ATC instructed it. Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, descent 5,000 feet, 2,000 feet a minute or greater, QNH 1016. Okay. Set QNH, QNH 1016 cross-check, passing flight level, correction passing, altitude 10,100 now. And that's 5,000 blue.
Speed 220,
So 10,000, lights on, LS on. GPS primary, high accuracy is verified, and B mode selector is a norm. Approach checklist. Baro reference, QNH 1016, seatbelts, on, minimum, Baro 1667, auto brake, low, engine mode selector, norm, approach checklist complete. A little turbulent here, as expected.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, resume normal right of descent, speed 220 knots or less, turn left heading 110.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, normal rate of descent, speed 220 or less, left heading 110.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, cleared ILS approach 0 left.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, cleared ILS 22, correction 08 left.
Lufthansa 203, maintain 170 knots or greater until 6.
Okay, so speed brake is back in, reducing the speed, and we gotta take that call from the purser. Hi, Emmanuel here. Okay, thanks. Sorry for picking up so late. We just had a call from the traffic control.
Long hello, Lufthansa Falco Romeo, flight level 1200.
Okay.
Descending on.
So, we're not receiving the localizer just yet, so let's arm nav. That way the aircraft is going to intercept the extended center line automatically. Nav blue.
Hello, let's get one for Charlie inbound.
So that was pretty excellent vectoring here from ATC. He gave us the rates of descent that we needed, and of course it was a little challenge there to reduce the speed while doing 1,500 feet a minute. In the A321 no problem. In the A319 we would probably have been in trouble there getting the speed down. Nav? Ah, localizer alive. Okay, lock blue. Lock star. Company message, well, this is what I meant earlier. You get that delay report 25 minutes into the flight. That is a little bit too late in my opinion. Lock. Because I'm not going to deal with it right now. We'll do it on the ground.
One for Charlie, mention radar, hello, identified, descent to flight level 110, expect runway 08 left.
Descent 110, expect the right left, let's go for Charlie.
Switch it proper brakes, contact S tower, 118.705, level.
Wow, can't see a thing here.
Let's begin 99 Alpha, contact mention radar.
Really can't see. That's better.
555, goodbye.
118. I forgot the aft part again. Well, he'll say the frequency again. Right? 1,000 to go.
Locked.
Wow, quite a bit of lag over here. And rather turbulent.
left, descent 110 for City 177.
Contact 5 Charlie Echo, mention radar, hello, identified, stand by, set to flight level 150.
Okay, the speed instruction was 220 or less, so managed speed, flaps 1, speed check, speed out star.
Lufthansa for Echo Romeo, proceed direct Delta Mike 427, after Delta Mike 420, descent to flight level 100.
And we're cleared for the approach, so Cat3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2, glide slope blue. A little bit of headwind.
Tango descent, correction speed 170 knots, maintain until 6 miles higher.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, speed 170 until 5 miles. Flaps 2,
Lufthansa
speed check, flaps
Delta
2.
Echo, speed 250 knots or greater, descent to altitude 5,000 feet, Q&A.
Okay, 170 knots.
2,000 feet per minute or greater.
Speed 250 or more, descending to flight level, to 5,000 feet with 2,000 feet per minute or greater, QNH 1016.
Look at that, it's really turbulent here. Our passengers would be very unhappy about this. Very unhappy. Let's hope we have enough puke bags on board, and that's not just because of my impending manual flight here. Glide slope capture, go around altitude 5,000 sets.
Indian arrival, cruise complete, Lufthansa 9 Tango Victor, flight level 170 down to 130 inbound, settle. Lufthansa 9 Tango Victor, mention radar, hello, identified, descent to flight level 110, expect runway 08 left.
Okay, maintain until 5 miles, we can do that.
Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo, speed 220 knots, or greater, turn left heading 110, cleared LS approach runway 08 left.
Speed 220 knots or greater, turning left heading 110.
But man, this is really turbulent right now.
Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, contact Munich Tower, 118.705, goodbye.
118.705, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, danke, tschüss.
Contact 5 Charlie Echo, contact München.
München Tower low, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, ILS 08 left, 170 until 5.
To the proper brakes, representing traffic airborne at 080 degrees 7 knots, runway 08 left, clear for land.
Clear 08 left, 2 set proper brakes ready.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango Tower, good morning, wind check 080 degrees 7 knots.
2,500.
Tracked. Okay. Let's take the challenge, shall we?
Lufthansa 203, taxi to gate 209 Bravo via center 2.
Okay, manual flight. Cat 1. You're down.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think I cannot make the gate 212 Alpha. Company Airbus is trying to block me. Any chance to get 213 Alpha or the others?
Okay, flap 3.
Welcome 213 Alpha for the Lufthansa to Whiskey.
And flaps 4.
Taxi
So you can see that even with the speed restriction, I do configure the aircraft all the way already. So that now that we can reduce, we just gotta pull the engines to idle, let the speed come back, and that's it. Landing checklist, Ecam memo, landing no blue. Landing checklist complete.
And some information outside before inspection about 6.
Roger, I call you.
So via General about 3 for 2 holding point 0 for chapter 1.
Senior 4 Charlie Juliet, contact departure 123, decimal 905.
123-905 and between
Yep,
4,000
it is summertime. You can really feel it on that turbulence here.
Charlie Juliet, bye-bye.
Roger, thank you. Lufthansa Whiskey Tango, 080 degrees 7 knots, runway 08 left, clear to land.
08 left, clear to land, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango.
Jet 4 Papa X-ray, taxi holding, power direction taxi via Mike Alpha 4, hold shot of November.
Mike Alpha 4, hold shot of November, 2 Jet 4 Papa X-ray.
Come on, speed, start getting up again. I don't want to add too much thrust right now.
Negative Bravo 3.
Bravo 3, sorry about that.
Alright, so let's attempt not to float into eternity this time, even if that means that we put the aircraft down a little bit more positive.
Lufthansa X-ray Victor, taxi to entry November 3, via Whiskey 2.
Entry November 3 via Whiskey 2. I got a 0 on route taxi.
4.
I call you.
Tower, Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo on ILS 08 left.
100 above.
I do need to do a little bit of work on the stick here to keep that airplane in the vicinity of the glide. Continue.
201, taxi to entry Sierra 5 via Whiskey 1 blue line.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Clear 201, taxi to entry Sierra 5 via Whiskey
Okay.
1 blue line.
Spoiler, reverse green, decel.
And the Sierra 5 via Whiskey 1, Echo 201.
We definitely had to force it down there. It didn't help that the runway went a little bit downhill at the same time. But I think it was still a smooth landing. Okay, manual brakes.
Okay, second, please, photogenic sound.
Taxi via Whiskey 1 orange line, entry Sierra 5, hold shot of Charlie 5.
Whiskey 1 orange line, Sierra 5, photogenic sound.
Hold shot of Charlie 5.
Hotel 75, photogenic sound.
Okay, welcome to Munich.
Your clearance is via 08 right, you are now taxiing to the north, make a 180 Whiskey 1 orange line, entry Sierra 5.
So, while ATC is still busy with that guy taxiing into the wrong direction.
T orange line into Sierra 5, Echo 201.
Lufthansa X-ray Victor, taxi to holding point, runway 08 left via November Alpha 3.
November Alpha 3 for Lufthansa X-ray Victor, and we are able
Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo, 080 degrees 7 knots, runway 08 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 08 right.
Trying to keep it slow right now in case he wants us to turn first right.
Taxi to entry November 4 via November.
Entry November 4 via November, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango. Okay, November is the second one, as you can see on the sign over there.
Your ring 25 Juliet.
Okay.
Request
So, start APU.
Wings 25 Juliet, tower, good morning, I call you.
And we are clear on the right side, clear on the left side. Entry November 4 is going to be the first taxiway, I believe, but let's have a look into the chart once we're established on the taxiway here. In the meantime, after landing checklist, radar and predictive wind shear off after landing checklist complete. Okay, here we are. So, November 4 is the first one indeed.
Lufthansa 1 Victor Yankee, wind 080 degrees 7 knots, runway 08 right, cleared for takeoff.
That one.
That's clear for takeoff for Lufthansa 1 Victor Yankee.
Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango, taxi via Echo 2, gate 252 Bravo.
Well, Echo 2, 252 Bravo, Lufthansa 2 Whiskey Tango.
Eurowings 252,
okay.
information Quebec.
Echo 2 is that one, 252 Bravo is down here. Beautiful.
Climb via sit to flight level 70, squawk 1000.
And of course the gate is missing.
Eurowings 252, information Romeo, clear Lima India Romeo November, Warboard 3.
Okay, then we do it without GSX and just get ourselves into the gate ourselves here. Okay, APU avail.
Eurowings 252, destination is well.
Engine 2 shutdown. In case you're wondering, normally the cooling time should be 3 minutes, but we can count the time that we had in idle reverse, so if you take a little bit less than 2, that's going to be totally fine. Alright, so first to the left, and then basically straight at gate 252 Bravo. Right, that guy's giving way to us.
Way to the Airbus, taxiing via Alpha 5, November 4, Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo.
So off to the left over here.
Clearances to the south, make a 180, Whiskey 1 Blue Line, entry Sierra 5.
Wow, it's incredible how many people are taking the wrong way today.
Next time listen and look on your compass, mate.
He seems a little bit unhappy, but looking at the amount of other aircraft that I heard, messing up the direction today, I can understand him.
Lufthansa 1 Victor Yankee, contact departure 127, decimal 9055, goodbye.
Okay, so, rather busy over here. No surprise though with the scenery just coming out. So, this is the World Update Munich scenery.
Caution, turbulence reported between 4,500 and 5,000 feet.
Very nice, he's actually giving the turbulence reports. I like that. It's a good controller. He's doing things very well over here.
Lufthansa 6 Delta Echo, taxi to gate 217 Bravo via Center 2.
Taxiing to gate 217 Bravo via Center 2.
Okay, so we are reaching 15 knots. Engine to idle. And that is really where we start saving again. You can see idle uses about 450 kilos per hour. Now that I've used the engine on 40% N1, we've been using about 700 kilos an hour, so you can see it is saving a little bit of fuel, even though not all that much. So, single engine taxi in the A321, you can see it somewhat works, but now we need some thrust again to make sure that we don't get too slow. So, it somewhat works, but it's not ideal. We have to admit that. Okay, 252 Bravo should come up any moment now. 250, 251, 252 is over here, and then 252 Bravo.
Tango Victor, this is not a short final, you're on 8 miles. Good day, wind check 090 degrees, 6 knots.
It's not a short final, good day. I like him. I like that controller. Right, lights off. 252 Alpha, 252 Bravo.
City 1977 departing 319 ahead, Tango Yen short final, wind check 090 degrees, 6 knots.
Over, go. You're 1 and
A little bit of thrust to make sure we get through the turn. And here we are. Okay, no guidance system of course, since GSX didn't know the gate. We'll just taxi somewhere to the front then.
At the north GA apron with information Romeo. Request IFR, start up an IFR clearance to Castle Colden.
Okay, and here we are. So, brake set. APU bleed on. Shutdown.
It's Lufthansa 15 Zulu.
Cabin crew, all doors on park.
How do I call you?
Okay, let's leave that frequency here, so that we have a little bit of silence for ourselves. And then the engine is running down below 20%. Slides are disarmed. External power on, and here we are. So, parking checklist please. Park and brake out shocks, brake set, engines off, wing light off, fuel pumps off, parking checklist complete. Quick look down at the brake temperatures to see what we have there. 170 degrees, that's completely fine. That could have been over 400 if we aimed for the first exit to reduce our taxi time here. And in that case, the additional fuel usage, the additional brake wear would completely have outweighed the additional fuel we now used for the slightly longer taxi. That's the reason I decided to stay on auto brake low there. Okay, so Lufthansa Ops wants delay for 11 minutes. You can have that in a few moments, and arrival message here as well. Okay, so ADC delay, and this time we'll take two different codes. You guys can commence deboarding, please. Even though the jetway doesn't really connect, does it? Yeah. We reached the limit of the length of the jetway, it seems. Too bad. But okay, so be it. Alright, let's have a look at the delay allocation card, just to have that one finished and have the paperwork of the flight done. So we'll do 5 minutes of delay on pushback. So ATC startup delay, AMZ. Is there anything directly on pushback? Normally we had like 80 something. But okay. We'll put it on ATC startup delay then, AMZ 5 minutes. 5, and then we need 6 minutes. I would blame it on crew security or something. Crew arriving too late at the aircraft. So let's do MISC, other 6 minutes. And OTH, let's make it crew security, so it just took a little bit longer for the crew to pass the security control, therefore we arrived a little bit late at the aircraft and couldn't make the pushback on time. Alright, sent that out. Well guys, and with all of that out of the way, welcome to Munich. I sure hope that you enjoyed the flight with me. Let me know your feedback in the comments below, and let me know how you like the A321 as we are getting along. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed the flight with me. I'm very much looking forward to your feedback in the comments, and as always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And if you really like what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and I see you all again on the next one.